In this lesson, we are going to learn how to turn springs in Blender. So, to start with, let's clear our scene. I'm going to go ahead and use the X key to delete these objects. And then I'm going to split the area into two windows, two 3D windows. And also split the buttons window. And I'm going to join this area right here. So now that I have that set up, just arrange the window a little bit, and we're going to add a circle. Add a mesh circle. And 24 vertices is just fine. Now I'll tab into edit mode. Just adjust this a little bit so we can see down here. And keep that over here in the side view on number 7, looking down at it. I'm just getting things arranged here so I can make this mesh tools window larger so we can see what we're doing here. Hit the add key on the number pad a couple of times. Okay, we're going to use the screw setting, and we're going to set the number of turns and this button activates the screw tool, and we'll place it in there, and it says you have to select a string of connected vertices. So that is kind of confusing at first, but I'm going to show you now what it is you have to do to make that happen. We've got to set up a line of vertices that describe the angle and the spacing. So we'll select one vertice or one vertex, and we'll duplicate it with a Shift D, and I'm going to move it to the left of the circle, and then with a Control left click we're going to create this line. So it is part of the same object, and depending on the angle that we choose, that's going to be the angle of our spring. So let's put this line basically straight, and I'm going to snap these to the grid with the Shift S snap menu. Alright, now do an all select, and we'll press screw, and it's going to ask me which window to do it in, and they're the same. So there we go. Not precisely what I wanted, and that has to do with the 3D cursor position. The 3D cursor was inside the circle of the spring, so everything spun around the 3D cursor. So let's put the cursor here at the axis. Alright. We'll just zoom in a little bit here. I want you to be able to see the whole thing as it happens, and we'll do screw and select this window over here, and there we go, and it turned up. So now I'll do a Control Z and undo that, and I'm going to try something just a little different. We'll duplicate off a couple of copies here, and if you're working with me, I suggest you do the same, because we're going to experiment, and it's one of the best ways to understand how this works is to try some different things. Alright, go ahead and tab into edit mode on this first spring setup. And we'll go ahead and press the screw button on that, and you can see what happens there. And typically what we do then is just select and delete the shaft out of the middle. Alright, here we're going to select this next one, go into edit mode, and we're going to slightly adjust the angle of this line here, and also the length of it. Well, we really still have it pretty much straight, but we've just shortened it. So let's take a look and see what happens there. We'll place our 3D cursor. That's what it's going to spin around. And come over to this Mesh Tools and press screw and select this window. And you can see that the shorter segment caused a tighter coil, resulted in a tighter coil on the spring. Okay, now I'm going to tweak the angle of the line and also the length of the line. Okay, and I'm going to set my 3D cursor right there at the base of this segment, and we'll again press screw, and we sort of have a conical spring. And of course, adjusting the sides of that circle would adjust the thickness of the spring, and also we could adjust the number of steps. So if we select the cone in the middle and press L to get linked vertices, and we can do the X key and then delete vertices. You can see how that deleted out of there. Go in there, select one vertex, right there. Press the L key to select linked vertices, X key to delete, select vertices and delete. Alright, and again on this one, go into edit mode with the tab key. We'll select one vertex, L to get linked vertices, X key, and then we'll erase vertices. So there you have three different looking springs, and once you understand a couple of easy steps to get there, you can make some really neat stuff. Okay, now we're going to try something a little different. Going to add another mesh circle. I'm sorry, let's add a mesh plane instead. I did say we did something different, and we've already done a circle, so, and we will duplicate off one vertex by right-clicking that vertex and doing a Shift D. And we're going to do an all select, and we're going to do a screw with this plane right here. So that gives you other possibilities. You can use that in building. I'm going to undo that, and let's try something else here with it. And I suggest too that you should experiment and see what you can come up with. We're going to change the number of steps to 15 steps. See, I need to copy off, duplicate off a vertex and set up my line again because I accidentally undid that. So do an A to all select and do screw, and this time we have 15 steps selected. And you can see that with a higher number of steps selected, we have a smoother coil there with more steps in it. So that's pretty much it for turning springs in Blender. Have fun and see what kind of cool, crazy things you can make.